Hello friends, and thanks for clicking on this video. Today we're going to go over the different vanity shields that can be put on the new ship in Star Trek Online, the Hesperian Intel Battle Cruiser. This ship is from an episode of Lower Decks, and it's really interesting looking. I actually really like the look of this ship. Now this ship you get in the new summer event that is currently live, so definitely go and play the summer event so that you can acquire this ship for free. So let's just get into it. It's going to be a long video, so no intro, nothing like that. Let's just take a look at it. Zooming in just a little bit here, and it looks really fantastic. You could tell that it has these little bits right here. It's like gold or copper. I'm not sure exactly. It might look different on different monitors, but to me it looks kind of like gold. And this material was created specifically for this ship, and the material itself, I've been told, does not change with the vanity shields. It remains this gold color, so that part of it cannot be manipulated, but pretty much I think everything else can. Just the look itself definitely makes it look a little bit like a dragon, right? So it's green, it's got dragon scales. If you look at it from the top down view, let's zoom in just a little bit more. Yeah, so you can see the light playing off of the scales here, and they become shiny. You can see the hints of blue, different shades of blue and green in the scales. It looks really good, especially in this part right here that looks like it would be kind of the wings. The nacelles are definitely interesting looking. You have these, man, I don't know what to even call these, but you know, you got these little gold pieces that kind of jut out, and then you have the actual Bassard collector here at the front, and in the back you have a set of, looks like 3 rings, and on both sides you have a, looks like a double tail or something like that. You have this bottom part, this top part. I wouldn't even begin to guess where the shuttle bays are on this ship. Maybe the sides here, but I don't know. It doesn't look that way to me, so I'm not actually sure. But it is a really neat looking ship. Oh, check it out with the sun in the background. It's really cool. And I think this little piece right here might be the deflector dish, maybe. But just the design itself, without any vanity shields, looks really interesting. I really like the design of it, and I think it's just a fun new ship. It looks like it might be a pretty decent performer also for a free ship. So definitely check out some of the other Star Trek Online content creators. I'm sure somebody will put it through its paces, and you'll be able to see how it actually performs in the game. But today, again, it's going to be all about the vanity shield. So let's get to that. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Omega Force Shield Array. This is from the Omega Reputation. So we'll start with that and see what happens to this ship. All right, so some changes here. Some actually don't like it, but look at these lines right here. So basically it kind of made these look a lot more pronounced and kind of weird looking. Also, as you can see here near the Bassard collectors, it made a honeycomb pattern at the front, and also in these slits right here. Again, these gold parts here will not be affected by the vanity shields. So this is what it looks like from every angle. Zoom in a little bit more around here so we can see what it does to the nacelles. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it looks good on the ship. It's one of the oldest shields in game also, so just keep that in mind. This is the Omega Force Shield Array. We're going to go ahead and move on to the M.A.C.O Resilient Shield Array. All right, let's unequip and re-equip that. That's unequipped. We're going to go ahead and re-equip it. Okay, so it did change some things here, a lot more than I originally thought it would. So it looks like I made these parts here darker, where my mouse is pointing. Again, you get this honeycomb pattern, but here it looks a little bit more like a nicer carbon fiber maybe. It doesn't look as bad as the previous shield did. Down here in this section, you see that honeycomb pattern again. Makes it look a little bit darker in these areas. I think it helps. So not too bad, actually. So this is again from the Omega reputation. And this is the M.A.C.O shield array. Okay. Let's go to the next one. We have the adapted M.A.C.O. Let's go ahead and do that one next. All right. This is the way the ship looks. And this is with the adapted M.A.C.O. So it did a couple of things I noticed. Actually, let's take it out. Let's put it back on so you guys can see that again. So you see there's blue here. And then the green parts look a little bit, they're shiny, but a little bit more blue. Let's go ahead and put the adapted M.A.C.O shield again. Let's take a look. All right, so see kind of on the edges, it darkened the edges of the ship right here. Again, it changed the color of this area here and what I call the wings of the ship. And again, you see that honeycomb pattern around the nacelles and also the Bassard collectors. This middle part right here as well. So not a huge difference from the previous shield, just a little bit. I think it just darkened this area a little bit more. All right, moving on, we have the Assimilated Regenerative Shield Array. Let's go ahead and put that on. Let's Borgify the ship a little bit. All right, so it's not as drastic, and I think the reason it's not as drastic looking is because the ship's already green. You know, it has a lot of green in it. So that's where the Borgified parts kind of show up. And you could definitely see a little bit of it, but because you have all these patterns here from the ship itself, it kind of seems to just not be as pronounced. Let's see what it looks like on the underside. Yeah, okay. So you can see the Borgification, if you will, kind of towards the bottom here in the tails. I like this kind of green highlight part right here. I wish there was maybe a little bit more of that. Definitely the nacelles turned glowing green right here in the middle. You can see that. That was affected by the by this Vanity shield. Actually, sorry, I keep saying Vanity shield, but some of these are just the reputation shields, and they're not actually Vanity shield. Vanity shields, again, are the ones that just do nothing but just change the look. This changes the look, but it also can be used as an actual shield. All right. This is the Omega Force Vanity shield. Now, this is the actual Vanity shield. You get this when you reach level tier 6 in the reputation. Here you can see it did darken some of these areas, just like the adapted M.A.C.O, but this one has a little bit of a purplish hint of color to it. So it's not just dark, it's a little bit purple. But basically the same kind of deal with all these shields. You get a little bit of this honeycombing effect going on. This one's a little bit different, where this is not just a solid honeycomb pattern. You got these kind of gray bits right there. And the nacelles, you can see, are a little bit honeycomb pattern on the edges as well. So, but yeah, nothing really to write home about. I think out of all of these, maybe I like just the regular M.A.C.O one. And in fact, let me take a look at that one more time. So yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. So out of all these from the Omega reputation, this is probably the one that I would put on it. If I wanted to change the look of it, it's just the regular M.A.C.O Resilient Shield Array. All right, let's move on. We have the Nukara Crystalline Resilient Shield Array. This is from the Nukara reputation set. This is the regular shield. Let's go ahead and put that on there. Now this is probably going to be a big change. All right, yeah, that changed everything, didn't it? Pretty much. Ooh, okay. Actually, you know what? It doesn't look too bad, but it did change the green parts and it made him kind of this metallic gray with kind of a lot of little different paneling and kind of weirdness going on here. The Nukara always reminds me a little bit of that the Breen shield, which by the way, I don't have the Breen shield on here, so I apologize if anybody wanted to see what the Breen shield looked like on this ship. I just don't have it, and I haven't had the chance to play that old episode to get it. So, but I have definitely a lot more shields for you, so continue to stay tuned. Here we go. It looks pretty decent to me, actually. I like the way that the nacelle glows this this kind of, you know, burnt yellow, kind of orangey color. You have the Bassard collectors look a little bit weird. This pattern that it has on there is definitely interesting looking. You can tell it's a little bit dated on that, but even the rings here are that kind of that yellowish color. I really like that. And even the wing parts of it, you got this darker look to them. It looks like a ship that was put together from a bunch of different parts, but not in a haphazard way. I don't know. I kind of like it, actually, and I usually don't like the Nukara shield on anything. But it looks kind of cool to me. Gives it kind of a more menacing look to this ship. Like it's actually coming to get you. So I think also these parts are glowing a different shade of green, perhaps, or a different shade of color. I don't think they're this kind of greenish blue. So that is the Nukara Crystalline Resilient Shield Array. Now we're going to take a look at the Vanity. Actually, it looks like the glows are the same with or without the shield. So I thought it changed that, but I guess it didn't. Okay. So let's go. The Nukara Strike Force Vanity Shield is just a Vanity Shield. This one you get again tier 6 when you reach tier 6 in your reputation. And it made it a little bit more purple looking. You got all these hexagons kind of showing up on the skin. I don't know if you can see that, but see a bunch of little hexagons all over. That's interesting. Again, it made the nacelles this kind of yellow color. I think it looks a little bit more pronounced here with the Vanity shield than it did with the regular shield. A lot more purple on the hull. Let's take a look at the bottom here. All right. Interesting looking. I think I like the regular shield better than I do the Vanity shield here for the Nukara. But still, an interesting look. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next, we're going to move on to the Romulan Reputation Shield. This is the Romulan Advanced Prototype Shield. Let's go ahead and put that on there. Did it do anything? Wait, let's take it off and on again. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so that's off. This is with the shield on. All right, so it added this kind of greenish paneling, kind of smooth paneling to some parts of the ship. Before it was all this scale material, but right here it just added some paneling that was more, I guess, less scaly, right? And more, just more ship looking, I guess. I don't know. Ship pattern, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. Sorry. All right, so it changed a little bit. And these parts are blue originally, and they're not blue now. So I think that's a bigger change there. As far as the nacelles go, you know, changes a little bit here and there, but nothing huge to write home about. So I guess if you don't want so many of the scales showing up, you can go ahead and add this, and it'll just add some regular metal paneling to your ship. All right, so that was the Romulan Advanced Prototype Shield. Now we're going to go for the Reman Advanced Prototype Covariant Shield. Put that on there. Oh yeah, that makes a difference. For sure. Let me turn it off and on again. Or take it off and put it back on. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, actually it looks pretty neat. I like what it does to the skin area here of the main hull of the ship. I like how it combines with the gold bits. I think it looks pretty great. You know, the nacelles, this kind of honeycomb pattern with the kind of transparent, translucent look to it is interesting looking. It's always kind of a more unique thing. You got, but this chrome effect on it just looks great. And I even like this inside part with that honeycomb pattern. It looks good. I would definitely rock this shield on this ship. See what it looks like from the bottom. Oh yeah, super shiny. Super shiny. Very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So this is the Reman Advanced Prototype Shield. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the, man, can't words today, huh? Gonna go ahead and move on to, wait, which one's next? Oh, okay, the new Romulus Reman Vanity Shield. Let's go ahead and do that one. All right. So it's less blue, more green. So basically the chrome is a more green color. The other one was a little bit of like a bluish green. This is just kind of more of a green pattern. And even this honeycomb area that lights up is more green. So you can see that. It's got like a little bit, I don't know if that purple is because of the buildings. I think it is. I think it's just a reflection perhaps from the surrounding buildings because they're a little bit purple. I think that's just kind of bouncing off the light. So that's just due to the map, not something that I think is regular to this shield, this Vanity Shield. So yeah, definitely more green looking, but in different areas. So. All right, so that is the Vanity Shield. Again, you get this when you reach tier 6 in the Romulan reputation, or the new Romulus reputation, I think is what it's called. All right, so let's see, where does that one go? Man, that's the thing about having all these shields, y'all. You just forget where they go. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the Dyson rep shields, the Dyson reputation shields. We are actually in the Dyson sphere zone, so very appropriate to show off these shields here. Let's go ahead and put the regular regenerative shield array. Oh yeah, that did some things for this ship. So I took the green bits and changed it to this kind of lighter color with these kind of purple lines going all through it. It's what usually we expect to see in the Dyson Sphere shield. This happens to a lot of the ships. That same pattern shows up. You can see it more predominantly on some ships than others, but here you can see it and it's very, very noticeable. The pattern is very, very much front and center. We can see that the blue parts, it just made them kind of a purplish blue color. The nacelles look good. This inside area looks kind of neat. I like it. A little bit of the gold here and the black, and this pattern is interesting right here. You got these like triangles or something. There's like a little diamond here in the middle. It's interesting looking for sure. See what it looks like from the bottom here. Okay. Yeah. If you look at it from in the backdrop of this Dyson sphere building, it looks like it belongs, right? And take a look at it. This is a building right here. There's a ship. It looks like it belongs. This ship was designed and built here And yeah, it belongs. It looks pretty great, actually. That's really neat. All right, let's move on to the Vanity Shield itself. So this is the Dyson Joint Command Vanity Shield. Put that on there. Okay. So more purple, basically, is what this did to the ship. Instead of it being the gray paneling here, it's more purple. You still got the purple lines on it. A little bit more of these green lines are showing up now, I think. Yeah. Yep. Basically very similar, except a little bit more purple. And I think I like the tier 5 version of this better than I do just the Vanity Shield. All right, so let's go ahead and remove that. And we're gonna go ahead and move on. This is the counter command, or the 8472 reputation, basically. So let's go ahead with an actual shield. This is the counter command covariant shield array. And that did make some changes. Instead of this being all green, you have these bits right here, kind of in the middle, where it looks a little bit like a darker blue color. I was not expecting that from this shield, actually. I don't know why. I was expecting something a little bit different. You have these little circles kind of showing up on this bit that covers the Bassard collectors. You have also these kind of green circles that you see everywhere on the ship, kind of at the bottom and just kind of throughout. The nacelles right here are glowing green due to the Vanity Shield, and also these rings right here at the back of the nacelles. In the inside, you see this kind of circles that show up. So yeah, definitely an interesting look. I wouldn't say it's a look that I like too much. I just don't really like these little circles that kind of show up everywhere. It looks kind of weird to me. So that's the counter command covariant shield array. Now let's go ahead and move to the Vanity Shield. This is the 8472 counter command Vanity Shield. All right, let's take that off and put it back on again. It's off. On. All right. I like it even less. It just made this area look a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's not quite salmon color, but it does have kind of a little bit of pinkish to it, which I don't mind pink. It's just, it looks like there's too many different materials on this ship, because you have the green and then you have the gold and then you have these kind of light color that doesn't even match very well with the rest of the ship. Then you have the blue. And then again, you have these little circles everywhere that look pretty hideous to me. But let me show you all the angles here real quick before I go off of it. This is the 8472 counter command Vanity Shield. And in my opinion, it looks hideous. All right. But if you like it, hey, that's perfectly fine. Not everybody has to like exactly the same things. So, and that's why it's nice to have so many different Vanity Shields and so many different things, because, you know, you get to choose what looks good to you and what you like to roll with. Here we have the Delta Alliance Unimatrix Shield Array. So this is from the Delta Rep. Let's go ahead and put that on there. Oh, I like that. Let's take it off. Let's put it back on. Oh, yeah, that's good. That is good. Look at that. I love just the pattern and the look of the skin itself. Even with the green little bits here, looks pretty good. It matches well with the gold bits that were added specifically again for this ship. The nacelles, you can see this kind of this green with a little bit of hint of black in it. usually I don't like this pattern or this look on the nacelles, which is one of the drawbacks of the shield for me is how it makes the nacelles look. But in this case, I really don't mind it at all. Then you have the circles on the Bassard collectors, which I usually mind, but because they're kind of hidden behind, a little bit behind kind of these metal bits right here, it's not as prevalent. It's not as in your face or noticeable, so I don't mind it quite as much. Even the rings here have that green glow to them. This middle part's just smooth now, but again with this really good looking gray color to the skin. Let's see the bottom. Oh, the bottom's interesting because the bottom has a lot more of these green highlights throughout. If you can see these little green lines here and there. Okay. From a little bit further, it doesn't look like there's that many, but if you zoom in on it, you can see so many of those little lines. I could probably do without them, but it's not a deal breaker for me on this shield. I would definitely use this shield on this ship. It's very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. That's the Delta Alliance Unimatrix shield array. Let's go ahead and put the Vanity, the Delta Alliance Vanity shield on it. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. So less gray. Gray, is that a thing? More like a gray green to it. This really bright kind of mint green color to the nacelles. So it's very similar to the tier 5 version, just more green. More hints of green on the whole material look, and a little bit more of this mint green everywhere. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I think I like the other version better though. But it's not horrible. It's not bad. All right, now we're gonna go to the Iconian. I always struggle putting this shield on anything. The pattern just doesn't. It's not something that I enjoy, but I know some people really do like it. So we're gonna go ahead and showcase it. So let's go ahead and put it on there. For those of you who like this shield, this is what the Iconian shield will do to the ship. All right, you can see that these bits are now well, I don't even know what kind of color that is, but it's kind of a grayish red color, I guess I would say. And then you have the red patterns throughout, these little circles. I guess I try to make it look a little bit tribal. The way that it looks, maybe, I'm not sure. The nacelle here is kind of a whitish color, so that's a little bit different. Also the rings here at the end of the nacelles. On the inside, you can see more of this pattern forming on the tails. Oh yeah, on the bottom you see it. It's a lot more in your face. So you see all this pattern right here, this reddish pattern. Interesting. You know what? If you take a look at this right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like a goose or something flying, right? Here's the body, here are the wings, and here's the head. Do you see that? If you guys see what I'm seeing, go ahead and put down a comment down below. Let me know if you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing, but it looks like a goose in flight to me. Or some kind of a duck, maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. All right, so that is a tier 5 version of that shield, and then we're going to go ahead and do the Iconian Resistance Vanity shield. Okay, so basically the same kind of thing, just purple instead of red. Yeah, even in the cells you see like a little bit of that purple from the bottom. Oh yeah. I really don't like this at all, guys. I really don't. But somebody out there will like it. So there you go. This is what those shields look like. Let's go ahead and see the Terran Task Force Covariant Shield Array. See what this will look like. Oh, interesting. So the Terran Task Force Shield always has kind of that chocolate brown look to me, which, you know, could look really nice on some of those ships. Fortunately, that shield is showing its age, and for me, for my money, before I had the Terran Emperor's Vanity Shield, I really enjoyed it, but now that I have the Emperor's Vanity Shield, I enjoy that so much more. It's one of my favorites, but we'll take a look at that one a little bit later on. Oh, so this made a line right through the middle here. I don't know if you guys could see that, but it's like a red line from the top here to the front, going right through the sword. Right there. At least that's what this looks like to me, like a sword. The color looks really good with the gold, though. I just wish it was more smooth looking and less broken up. So you can see so many lines around here and kind of a paneling look to it. I don't like that. If it were more smooth, I think it would just look fantastic. I do like what it does to the nacelles. I really enjoy this orange color on there. It looks great, even on the rings. Fantastic. I even like the red lines through different parts of it. This middle portion has that line coming through it as well. I like it. I mean, for the most part, it's a decent looking shield. But I just have a feeling that my Emperor's shield will just blow this out of the water now. Again, this is an older shield, but not bad looking. This is the Terran Task Force Covariant Shield Array. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Terran Task Force Vanity Shield. This is, again, once you reach tier 6. Okay, so instead of it being that chocolatey brown, it's just basically gray. Patterns are pretty much the same. The nacelles are a little bit blue. Kind of a different blue color now. See what it looks like at the bottom. Okay. So you got a lot of these glowing bits now with that kind of, I don't even know what kind of blue to call that, but it's just kind of like a white blue. Very light looking. Again, there's a lot of paneling kind of going on in the hull itself. Something that I don't like too much. Definitely an older shield in the game, but yeah, just somebody's gonna like this, I'm sure. It's not horrible. There's worse shields that we've seen so far, but not my cup of tea. Okay. What do we have next? We have the Temporal Defense Initiative Regenerative Shield Array. I know a lot of people swear by this shield. It definitely has a really cool look to it. So that's what it... Actually, let me go ahead and go up a little bit here. That's what a ship looks like without it. And this is what it's going to look like with it. All right. Let's take a look at this. So I love that it's kind of got that smooth texture to it instead of that paneling. It actually looks pretty good with the gold. Looks pretty interesting. I love the look. It's like a you know, like I've always said, like a little bit of that bubble look. Kind of like when you blow a bubble and you see all the different colors of the rainbow in it. It looks pretty cool like that. You have these kind of panels that change color as you move around. You can see right here, as I move around, it just kind of changes color a little bit, different shades like green, yellow, a little more red, purple, that kind of a thing. Ooh, you know, I really like this right here on the front part of the nacelles in the Bazaar Collector area. Look what it does to it. Because this is supposed to mimic kind of the look of a dragon, that kind of a thing. This looks like skin. It looks like dinosaur skin, actually. So I think it actually fits the ship pretty well. And we can see at the back, the same pattern shows up. Look at that. That's pretty neat. I like that. Let's look at the middle section here. You also have it right here in the middle where the two tails kind of come out. I like it. I like that a lot, actually. I think that looks really good on this ship. Let's look at the bottom here. All right. It's about standard at the bottom. Just you can see the different color patterns and all that on there. So yeah, not a bad looking shield for this ship. That is a Temporal Defense Initiative shield. Where did I grab that from? I think from there. Okay. So now we got the Temporal Defense Initiative Vanity shield. Let's go ahead and put that on. Okay. So more pink, more purple, more, I guess, pink and purple. Yeah. Pinkish-ish. Still that kind of multicolored look to it. And yeah, still that pattern of kind of dinosaur skin, what I call it on the ship itself. The nacelles are this orange color now. Zoom in here and take a look at the inside of it. Okay, let's look at the bottom. All right. Again, very similar to the previous shield, but just more purple. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, we're gonna go and see what the Lukari Restorative Initiative Regenerative Shield. That's you know, they really made this a long name. The Lukari Restoration Initiative Regenerative Shield Array. Did I say that right? I think I did. It's a long name for a shield. Basically, this is from the Lukari reputation. Let's go ahead and put it on. This is what we lovingly call the Tron shield. Let's see if it lives up to its name. Bam. Okay. So this is, again, the this is kind of the useful shield. This is not just the one that changes the look, but you can actually use the shield in the game. It'll protect your ship to an extent. Let's see. So the reason we call it Tron, as you could tell, is because these lines are, these glowy bits right here, these glowing lines throughout the ship. This does not look the same on this ship that I've seen it on other ships. I think it's been a little bit more blue on some of the other ships. But yeah, interesting. So here you got, it's kind of like a purplish hues on there. Do like the look of the nacelles here. You got that bluish color to them. That's very prevalent. Let's look at the bottom. Oh yeah, that's even more troned up. Look at that. All right. Let's take that look. Oh yeah. It looks pretty good actually from this angle right here against the fake Dyson Sphere sky. It looks pretty good. I like that look right there. I might use that for the thumbnail. Wow. Okay. So not bad. I think I like the view from the bottom better than the view from the top here, but not bad. The Lukari, you know what? I'm just gonna say the Tron shield because it's just such a long name. This is a Lukari Restoration Initiative Vanity shield, or the Tron shield, when you reach level 6. And the reputation, it's a little bit lighter color, a little bit more pink to it. The lines are pink, the glowy bits. The nacelles right here are pink. Even the Bassard collector takes on a pink color to it, so a little bit more of a lipstick look on there. The rings here turn pink as well. Let's look at the middle here. Okay, nothing really too fancy going on here, except right here, these things turn like blue. Those are usually red. I don't know if you can see that, but these two parts right there. Let's look at the bottom. Okay. All right, so if you like the look of this, a little bit more pink to it, a little bit more purple to it, make sure to take your Lukari reputation to tier 6. And you grab this shield from there. All right, now these are some of the hardest things to get, which is basically the counter command sets. Counter command TFOs are really hard to get into, and a lot of people don't play those anymore, so these are kind of hard to get. I am on Tribble. I'm in the Tribble server. I'm showing off these things there, which is why I have them. But usually I don't get these shields at all in my main game. The only thing I do for the counter commands from the counter command sets is the impulse drive, which a lot of people get because it'll help even a big ship go by faster when you're shooting weapons. All right, so let's go ahead and put this shield on. This is the tier 5 version, the Prevailing Innervated Resilient Shield Array. Okay, so the green parts and the blue parts have changed colors. They're now this it's kind of grayish look, right, to them. A lot of paneling going on here, very kind of, it's meant to look armored. You also have these diamond pieces here that look like even more heavily armored sections to it. If you take a look, the impulse engines have it too. See right here, these kind of I guess they're not really diamonds. Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess it's kind of a diamond look to them. It took this part right here at the front. I don't think it did anything to change that. It just changed the nacelle portion here. Or I did. It just changed the color because I think these look blue naturally. Let's look at the middle section here. Again, you have kind of this diamond off paneling look to it, a little bit more shiny. Let's look at the bottom. Okay. Got again this very sharp angles on the paneling. Honestly, it reminds me like a razor set, right? So like a chic razor, or I don't know, something like that, Gillette or something. So yeah, that's what this looks like. Not my cup of tea on this ship. It did look pretty good on the Odyssey, the video I made last time, by the way. I will put that down below if you haven't watched it. All right, let's take this shield off of it. And let's see the tier 6 competitive Wargames Vanity shield. All right, so this does something different. It adds a little bit more gold to it. You got these little gold highlights throughout the hull, and I think it matches with the gold bits here a little bit better. Even the diamonds are a little bit more gold color. Yeah, I like that. I think on this ship, I prefer the Vanity shield than the actual useful shield. And what I call the useful shields. Oh yeah, let's look at the bottom of it. Again, you have kind of this razor pattern to it. But because you got all these little gold glowy bits throughout, I think it works on this ship. Yeah. It looks really good. I actually really like it. I didn't think I was going to, but it looks pretty good. I would definitely rock this shield on this ship. So that is the competitive Wargames Vanity shield. And before I said counter command when I was talking about the previous shield, I'm sorry, that's not right. It's the counter command, or sorry, not the counter command again. It's the competitive Wargames shield. So, all right, so let's take a look at a shield that you get by playing one of the old missions. I think this one's from Boldly They Rode, which is an old Jem'Hadar mission from back in the days. And this can be gathered just from playing that mission. Oof. This is what it looks like on the ship. It's not that great looking. Definitely get some purples in it. Some gray areas. Look at this part right here. Kind of at the tip, you get this kind of funky looking pattern. I don't even know what that is. All right, it makes the nacelles purple. Kind of a purple color. If you look at the inside, it makes this area purple as well. We'll take a look at the bottom real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. All right, this is Jem'Hadar shield. You get this from, I think it's the mission Boldly They Rode. All right, let's go to the reputation now ones. This is the gamma reputation. So let's see what that'll do to the ship. I'm going to start off as the gamma synergistic resilient shield array. All right, and it definitely made everything pretty purple. Not super purple because this part here is still kind of like a grayish color, but it does have purple bits kind of in the lines and on the side panels and stuff like that. It made the nacelles kind of glow purple. The little rings in the back here glow purple. The inside panel, kind of the middle panel here is purple. Take a look at the bottom. I like this, again, this part right here is really cool. The glowing bit right there glows purple. It's not bad. It's not a bad looking shield on the ship. If you like purple, this could be a shield for you. Again, this is the Gamma Synergistic Resilient Shield Array. You can get after reaching level 5, I think, in your reputation. Let's take a look at the Gamma Task Force Vanity Shield. This one you get at tier 6. This is just a Vanity Shield. Oh yeah, look at that. Definitely way more purple than the previous one. And pink. It's like a pink. Actually, it's like a pink purple with like blue kind of purple. I don't know, guys. I don't know about colors. I don't know exactly the color tones that these are, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. So if you happen to know the exact color this looks like, please go ahead and leave a comment down below and let everybody know. But looks neat. You got some purple here again in the nacelles, the rings. In here, instead of just that middle part being kind of purple, everything else is that purplish pink color. Let's take a look at the bottom of it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Looks interesting. I think it works though. I mean, if it's something that you're into, if you're really into that pinkish and that purple color, then this shield does not look horrible on the ship. It looks all right. All right. Now we're gonna go through the last shields from the reputations, and then we'll move on into other types of shields. But these are from the first two are gonna be from the Discovery reputation. So let's go ahead and put Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield Array. This is one of those meta shields in the game. A lot of people have this shield. Let's take a look and see what it looks like on this ship. Okay. So it's more of a, not so much of a complete change, but more like an overlay into what's already existing there, as far as the the surface of the ship itself and the colors, because right here, basically you still have the green, you still have the blue that are inherent to the ship, but once you put the shield on, it just kind of adds this kind of, again, this bubble like effect all over it, where you have the different streaks right here that just look like that soap that's inside, you know, a bubble that's creating the bubble itself. So in essence, that's all this shield seems to do. It doesn't really change the different textures of the ship or anything like that. It just, or actually texture is probably the wrong thing to say. Well, no, because it still has the scales. So it doesn't really change the texture. It just adds a layer, if you will, of this kind of look, of this bubble type effect to it. Not my cup of tea. I kind of don't like that on this ship. All right, now let's take that off and let's move on to the Discovery Legends Vanity Shield. This you get from Region Tier 6 in the Disco Reputation. Let's put that on there again, just kind of an overlay, a little bit different, a little bit more pronounced in some areas. Again, does nothing to change the scales of the ship or the green or the blues, just kind of adds on top of that. The shield just doesn't look good on the ship. I don't know. That's a personal opinion, of course. And if you like the look of this, then you like the look of this, and that's perfectly fine. But to me, it just, I don't know. It doesn't really add anything great to it. All right, take that off. All right, now we're going to go into some purely vanity shields. I think we're done with all the, well, actually, no, that's not true. There's one more shield that is an actual shield that you can grab in game and use as a shield for protection on your ship. That's, it's actually useful, but most of the rest of these, it's just one more of those. The rest of these are going to be the just purely vanity shield. So we're going to go ahead and do the Discovery Vanity Shield. This one's from the lockbox, Discovery lockbox, and let's see what that looks like. All right, so turn everything pretty much this kind of grayish color. It changed the Bazaar collectors. It's got this kind of weird pattern. I don't know if you can see it, but kind of weird. It makes it look interesting. The nacelles themselves now glow kind of a bluish color. If you take a look at the impulse engines, you get this kind of interesting kind of mesh pattern on them. So that changed. The inside, again, you have this kind of just this kind of brownish gray color to the ship. Let's look at the bottom. Okay. Again, kind of a brownish gray look to it. All right, you know, it's not really that bad. What I really don't like is just the Bazaar collectors. I don't like the way that those look. I don't like that pattern that's on there. It just doesn't work, in my opinion. Besides that, it's not horrible. It's not horrible looking on the ship. All right, so next we have the Discovery Refit Vanity Shield. This is the 32nd century shield from the same lockbox, I believe. So let's go ahead and put that on the ship. Oh, that did make some changes, didn't it? This hull material is a 32nd century hull material. So makes it a little bit more shiny in some ways. See what it did to the nacelles. So they're a little bit darker color, but again, you have this blue on there and on the rings itself. Now the Bazaar collectors are just solid red. They're not, they don't have that weird pattern on them. Let's see what the back looks like here. You got this kind of darker paneling with the lighter gray on the sides of it. You have these little, I don't know if you can see them, but these little circles here that are blue on either side. So it kind of highlights that a little bit. See what the bottom looks like. Okay. Even though this whole texture has a little bit of paneling to it, it's more subtle than some of the other ones. Doesn't look bad. It's definitely gives it that more futuristic vibe that they were going for in the 32nd century when they brought the 32nd century ships in Star Trek Discovery. So yeah, you know what? It's not bad. I would definitely use a shield on this ship. No problems whatsoever. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the Deep Space, the Deep Space Nine's Vanity Shield. So the next few ones will be the basically the baseball shields. These are the ones that you can get from the summer event. So if you play the summer event and you gather the Luna tokens or whatever they are, you can go ahead and grab these shields from the vendor. And I think I have all of them, so let's go ahead and just go through them. These I'm going to go through real quick. I'm just going to put them on. I'm not going to comment too much just to get through them. There's like there's like 10 of them or something like that. So there's a lot of them. So I just want to get through those real quick because we still have a couple of other Vanity Shields to go through. So we're going to start off with the Deep Space Niners. Put that on there. Minimize. Let's take a look around. Okay. It looks like from the bottom. From the top. All right. Deep Space Niners. Slime Devils. The Denebian Slime Devils. Vanity Shield that a lot of people love to hate. There it is. Look at the back here. Okay. It's the bottom. All right. That was the Denebian Slime Devils Vanity Shield. Here we got the Ferenginar Liquidators. All right. Oh, this shield looks like it could just belong very well to the ship. Okay. That is a Ferengi Liquidators. And we have the stem bolts. Next, we have the Logicians, Vulcan Logicians. Okay. Next, we have the Work Bees. You know, I kind of dig it on here. It's kind of cool. All right, next we have the Cation Claws. Oh, that actually looks good too. Huh. Really actually digging the shield on the ship. Oh. I think that's the Cation Claws, right? Yeah. Cation Claws Vanity Shield. Again, you get that from the summer event. We got the Bozeman Titans, summer event store. Oh, the Titans. This is a favorite of a lot of people. And it actually looks good on the ship too. Wow. I think this shield actually looks pretty good on this ship. That is the Bozeman Titans. All right, and finally we have the Andorian Blue Boars. I like it too, actually. You know, some of these baseball shield, vanity shields look pretty neat on this ship. So definitely something to consider, because some of the vanity shields are part of a lockbox, you know, and if you don't open lockboxes, and then you know, this would be the next most cost effective way of doing it, because you know, to get those Lolunat or Lolunat, is that how you say them? To get those tokens from the summer event, all you got to do is play the event, and you get some of those by playing the different games on Risa. And when you get enough of them, you can go ahead and get some of these vanity shields without spending any real money. So it'll take you time, right? So you got to play the event, but by the end of the summer festival, of the summer event, you could get one or two of these shields and use them on this ship. I like it. I like the way that looks. I like the way the last three shields looked, baseball shields looked on the ship. So that was the Andorian Blue Boars. All right, so now we're going to go to another shield. This one is going to be the Bajor Defense Covariant Shield. This one you get from a mission. Let's see if I can take a look at which one it is. If you go to the man, I think it's the New Frontiers. Yeah, New Frontiers. It's Scylla and Charybdis. In the Scylla and Charybdis episode, you can go ahead and you could acquire this shield. It's a Bajor Defense Covariant Shield Array you get from that mission. So let's go ahead and put it on the ship. Let's see what it does. What it does to it. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so one of the trademarks of the shield is this kind of paneling that you see here on the edges and throughout. Makes it look a little bit armored. Kind of the ribbed areas, if you will. Okay, the nacelles look pretty much standard. Doesn't really change too much there. It's got this kind of, this lighter blue, though, glow to them. And then the impulse engines have a yellow glow to them instead of a red. Inside, you can see kind of this pattern, kind of rib pattern throughout. Let's take a look at the bottom. Okay. So it definitely looks like metal that's been scratched, right? Like this ship has run into things on its way to wherever it was going. So it's very fitting because Bajorian ships were not, you know, state of the art or anything like that, and they were definitely in a lot of skirmishes and whatnot, and they're not luxury looking ships, right? They were just meant to protect Bajor and the Bajorians from the Cardassians, and or from anybody else who might try to, you know, bother them. So it has that kind of that worn metal look throughout. So interesting looking shield. Not my cup of tea for this particular ship, but I like that shield on some other ships. Let's take a look at the Fek'Ihri. Is it Fek'Ihri? Because it's Fek'Lhri. Fek'Ihri, I think it's what it's called. The Vanity Shield. All right, so this one you can get from the winter event. If you play the winter event, you get this shield, this Vanity Shield from the store. And it has a kind of a rusted metal look to it. which it's supposed to. These ships from the Fek'Ihri basically come from the Klingon hell, so they're exposed to a lot of fire, exposed to a lot of sulfur, who knows what else, I don't know, just bad things. And so the hulls end up looking rusty and kind of that reddish color to them. So the nacelles themselves have a red glow to them now. The these kind of circle areas back here also glow red. Yeah, it just looks kind of like a rusted look to the ship, like something that would be coming out of the bowels of Klingon hell. So, all right, so that is the Fek'Ihri Vanity Shield that you get from the winter event. Let's take a look at the Ferengi Vanity Shield. The Ferengi lockbox makes everything just really orange. I like that interesting pattern here on the nacelles. I don't hate it. I think it looks pretty good. Like this kind of this orange on the glow on the nacelles and the little rings in the back here. Very, 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 very orange. But you know what? I hate to say it. I don't hate it on this ship. And I usually don't like this shield on anything, but I do not hate it on this ship. It looks all right. And I think a lot of it has to do with this gold right here, right? So this gold pattern that they put specifically for this ship, I think melds well with the orange of the ship itself. So not bad. Not bad. Let's take a look at the Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield. All right. So basically kind of a lighter gray on the hull itself. This one has a very interesting look on the nacelles themselves, and I really don't like it. Look at this. It looks like an eyeball kind of, like the surrounding area of the eyeball. I just never liked the pattern that they put on the Basart collectors for this Vanity Shield. It doesn't look good on pretty much any ship. The whole material is not bad, you know, and just the look of the nacelle right here is not bad either. That kind of white blue color to it, but just the way the Basart collectors look, it just, I don't know. I'm not sure why of that, right? And you know, the impulse engines are okay. That doesn't bother me too much. It's basically got this kind of mesh look to it, but it's more of a, I don't know, it's not red, right? So you got this kind of this light orangey color to it, or I don't know. I don't even know if you call that orange actually, but it's not bad. Let's look at the bottom. Okay. Not my favorite, especially on this ship. I don't think it meshes very well with it. So that was a Kelvin timeline, or the Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield. Let's take a look at the Hur'q Vanity Shield. Oh, interesting. So it took the scales and created this kind of, again, like it's kind of like a goldish look to it. Ooh, that's interesting. You have this kind of Hur'q pattern on the parts that cover the Basart collector. Basart collector itself looks all right. You have the green glow here to the rest of the nacelle, and also to these rings in the back of the nacelle. See what it looks like in the middle. Okay, not bad. Take a look at the bottom. Not bad, actually. I could dig this shield on the ship. You know, and I think part of the reason why it doesn't look that bad to me is because you have this ship that is meant to look organic, right? This is meant to look a little bit more like a dragon and stuff like that, and originally with the scales, you know, which go away with this, but because it's meant to look a little bit more of an organic ship with the two tails and all that stuff, I think the shield just works on it. The Hur'q Vanity shield works on this ship. It looks pretty good. I definitely rock this shield on here. All right, let's move on to the Zenkethi. Let's see what that looks like. I'm very curious. Oh. Oh. Oh my. I'm really liking this, y'all. You have this green, right? So we know that it's got kind of a lighter green here on, but this is like a darker green. The thing about the Hur'q also is their ships are made to look kind of organic as well. Kind of have organic patterns to their ships. And since this is an organic kind of looking ship, overall it looks good. It looks good. I don't like the Zenkethi shield on a lot of things, but I think it works for this ship. This green, that gold, it makes the gold pop a little bit more. Then you got these dark brown areas in the corners. I think that works really good. The nacelle color is kind of this white. The Bazaar collectors look good. The rings glow this white glow I really like. Let's see the inside. Then you have these lines with the little bits of kind of like gold coming through. You see that? I like that. Let's see what it looks like from the bottom. Okay, from the bottom it looks a little bit more interesting with a lot more of these glowy bits through these lines. I think it works, y'all. What do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below if you guys like this shield, but I like it on here. This is the Hur'q Vanity shield, and it looks fantastic on this ship. I really like it. Or, I'm sorry, did I say the Hur'q? This is the Zenkethi, sorry. The Zenkethi Vanity shield on there looks really good. The Hur'q one looked pretty good too. All right, so you got the Emerald Chain Intel Juggernaut Vanity shield. All right, look at that. So it's kind of the kind of like the Discovery Refit shield. It's just darker, but basically that, and it changes the color here too to kind of this like a white yellow color, I would say. Like this pattern in here looks good. Let's take a look at the bottom here. Oh yeah, it looks good. I mean, this shield definitely works for this ship. It looks good. I like it. Really cool looking. Really cool looking. Meshes very well with this ship. This is the Emerald Chain Intel Juggernaut Vanity shield, and it looks really good on this ship. Let's take a look at the Zat Vash Vanity shield. All right. Definitely has a very chromy look to the hull itself, to the material. You have kind of sections of green mixed with sections of this, I don't know what it is, like a grayish brown. The Bazaar collector looks funky with this pattern on it, but it's not bad. Then you have the nacelles themselves are glowing this green color, and these little rings in the back of them. Take a look at the bottom. I kind of like that pattern. I'm digging this kind of. It looks a little bit like a camel pattern, right? To the wings, if you will, of this ship. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. It's not bad looking on this ship. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not bad looking. That is a Zat Vash shield. Let's take a look at the Alliance Vanity shield. This is one that a lot of people have access to from back in the day. And if not, this can be purchased in Mud's bundle, or in the Mud's market, sorry. So this is the Alliance Vanity shield. Oh, it looks good. It looks good on the ship. I like it. Here you have what I call the stained glass window look, right? Pattern. I think it looks, oh, it looks good. Look at right here in the wing area. It really pops. I like that. You see the gold kind of color throughout, which is inherent to this shield as well. So it works well because, you know, you have these gold parts that are inherent to just the ship. I like the look of the Bassard collectors. Just the parts that cover it right here that shield it on either side. It looks good too with this gold color. The nacelle itself looks really great. I mean, I even like these kind of red lines coming down from it. Let's take a look at the bottom. Oh yeah. This shield works. It works very well with this ship. So if y'all have been playing for a while and you already have access to this shield, which was given out for free back in the day, I'd say do not hesitate in using this shield on this ship. It looks fantastic. It looks really good. I love the look of that vanity shield on this ship. Very nice. If you don't have it and you want it, again, you can get it from the Muds Market. It's a little bit expensive now, so I'd wait for a sale. But you could definitely grab that. And I think it also, the bundle gives you the uniform, the Alliance uniform. Let's take a look at the Courier Raider Vanity Shield. All right, so it's got like kind of like a whitish gray hull material on it. A little bit worn kind of look to it as well, I think. Bassard Collector has been turned white, and somehow it's still glowing a little bit red, or maybe it's just the core of the Bassard Collector. And the nacelles are glowing white, kind of just a drab gray look to it. Can't decide if it's okay or not. I don't think I'd use it on this ship. I don't think it melds very well, but you know, you might like it, but I don't think I'd use it. All right, moving on. We got the, oh, a lot of people's favorite shield. Let's take a look at the Section 31 Vanity Shield on here. It is time. Oh, wait. Try that again. It is time. There we go. It is definitely interesting looking on this ship. Look at that. Definitely smoothed out the hull, gives it kind of like that carbon fiber look to it. The nacelles very red or very blue. The Bassard Collector is very red, and the nacelle very blue. In the glowy bits, and in the rings, got this kind of pattern here and at the top. Let's take a look at the bottom. Like that, the bright blue glow all over. You know, the Section 31 Vanity Shield looks good on just so many ships. This one's no exception. I think it looks good too. Does it look as good as some of the other shields though? I would actually have to say no. I think some of the other shields mesh better with this ship than the Section 31 Vanity Shield, but it still looks great with it on. So if you're all about that Section 31 Vanity Shield, yeah, have no fear. It looks great on the ship. All right, let's move on to the Baul Vanity Shield, another favorite of a lot of people. Oh, look at that. Because it's more of a dark black color, I think it makes the gold pop even more, which I like. Let's take a look at the Bassard collectors and the glow on the nacelle and the rings in the back. Very dark. black color. Here you start to see that little circle pattern in the ship, some of the areas. Let's take a look at the bottom. Looks good. I like it. I dig the bow vanity shield on this ship. Very nice. And I like that it kind of accentuates the gold parts, the gold bits too. So very cool. Bow vanity shield on there. Now my all-time favorite shield of, this is the one that I love the most out of all the shields. And I know it's not everybody's favorite, but the Emperor vanity shield, it's just special to me. I don't know. It's looked good on pretty much anything I've put on there. And it looks good here too. Look at that. In my opinion, this shield just looks great. I like the kind of the brownish look to the hull itself. I like how it makes the gold pop here. I love what it does to the nacelles, the orange glow. Y'all know I'm about that orange. That orange glow looks really good, and the rings around it too. I like what it does to the impulse engines, that kind of that bluish glow to them. Yeah, here's a darker, kind of a darker brownish color on there. Let's take a look at the bottom. Okay. Yeah. This shield, in my opinion, works so well in a lot of ships. And I like it on this one too. It's very, very nice. Definitely would use that any day. I'm a little bit biased. Again, this is my favorite vanity shield in the game. But there are other shields that mesh very well with this ship too that are not, don't have to be an expensive lockbox shield. Let's take a look at the Borg vanity shield. All right, this does not work well. I'll tell you that right now. In my opinion, this looks funky. The whole very, very paneled, a lot of different bits and pieces there. But this right here is what's bugging me. Is this kind of glowy bit right here. That pattern on the tips of the bizarre, the protectors for the bizarre collectors. I don't know, guys. It just look at the middle parts here. Yeah, not my favorite on this ship. The Borg vanity shield looks decent on on some of the other ships, but it's one of those things you gotta have to find the right ship for it to look good on. It's definitely a finicky, what I would call a finicky shield, and I just don't think it's right for this ship, but that's a personal opinion. So let's take a look at the 32nd Century Federation vanity shield. Again, this was one of those that I think this was given out for free, if I'm not mistaken, or it was like part of some charity event thing where you can donate to a cause and you got some Star Trek Online goodies. It was one of those two things. Let's put this on this ship and see what that looks like. Interesting. All right, so again, kind of like a white hull, white, very white gray hull. This is one of those things about the shield that I just don't like too much, is the fact this part here looks just kind of like a transparent mesh with glass that kind of has a bluish tint to them. That part I don't mind like super much, because on some ships it looks pretty good. But one thing that bugs me is this transition right here on the nacelles. This happens to every ship, and it goes from like a reddish to a blue, and I don't like that at all. I just don't like that pattern. I don't like the way it looks. I don't understand the why of it. Somebody was just having fun, I guess, and created it to look this way, but I just don't think it works well. Again, personal preference, right? It just, to me, it makes it look like one of those, you guys remember those popsicles that had a red, white, and blue on them? that you used to get from the ice cream guy that would come to your neighborhood in the truck. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And it just, I don't know, it looked kind of weird to me. Let's take a look at the bottom of it. Yeah, I can do without the shield on this ship. All right, so that is the 32nd Century Federation Vanity Shield. And we're down to our last one, y'all. It's been a long road getting from there to here. But there'll be I'll try to do the little chapter markers and stuff like that on the different vanity shields, so y'all don't have to, you know, just go through all of them if you don't want to. So there's a Safe Galaxy Refit Vanity Shield. Let's go ahead and put that, the last one of the day. And look at that. Actually looks pretty good. So you got this kind of camo look to it with different colors of gray. It definitely makes the gold portions pop out a little bit more. The Sard collectors look good. They're just kind of a reddish color, but then you have this kind of, it's like a light orange color to the nacelles and to the rings here. It looks like inside it adds this, I don't know if you guys could see it, but this kind of green color to it also. That's interesting. Let's go middle here with the two tails. Looks okay. And the bottom, look from the bottom, looks good. Yeah, this shield works. In my opinion, this shield works on this ship. It looks good and gives a little bit more of a tactical look to it. Like give the what is it? The Hesperian? Is that what they're called? The race, the Hesperian race. Like this is their tactical ship. Like this is the one where they send the Marines on. Or the knights or whatever they are. The special knights to go conquer or do whatever it is that they got to do. But it looks good. It works on it. So I like it. This is again the a Safe Galaxy Refit Vanity Shield from the A Safe Galaxy lockbox. So that's it, everybody. That is all the vanity shields and all the different shields that change the look of your ship that I have access to. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Again, this is on Tribble. I went ahead and had some, you know, some of the low buy to just write out, buy this ship on Tribble and do this visual vanity shield review for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. It takes a long time to make this particular video and to edit it and to get it uploaded. So please, if you did enjoy it, if some part of this video was helpful, please leave a like down below. I would greatly appreciate it. It lets me know that, you know, spending a few hours making this video is actually worth it. It's worth the time. So, all right. So I'm going to leave you guys with the breath of, what's it called? Of the dragon. And we'll sign off after that. So here you guys go. See you next time. Live long and prosper. Breath of the dragon. Y'all take care now.